Now, on the subject of events, we've got some news, Morgan, that we want to share
Yes.
with the group and that we want to talk about. Now,
Now,
go on.
I just want to start this off. I've just been sort of thinking about this for the last couple of minutes. You might have seen my eyes wandering across the screen.
I have,
Not,
yeah.
not really looking at anything, just trying to figure out how we can sort of get this across, right?
Yeah.
Because guys, we've had this little bit of a plan going on in the background for a little while now. Matt and I have both been really busy as of late, and we've been trying to come up with ways to put this all together and how we get it across to the people. So when we bring this to you now, just understand that there's still a lot of parts that need to move, that need to fall into place. And this is really just the beginning of what we're trying to bring to you, the people across the nation.
This is it.
So Matt, I'll leave you with that.
This is it. But let me talk about how this kind of came about. Now, Morgan, in the past, you've run a lot of events. And you've actually there was one event in particular. I won't mention which one because it's not really one. That's sort of an inspiration for this. And there's events that I've run in the past which have also been a bit of an inspiration for this. Okay. What we wanted to do is we've often kind of joked and laughed a little bit about the Sweet Chain Open, and wouldn't it be great if we put together a Sweet Chain Open and it would be fantastic. And no doubt it would. We would have your experience and of organizing tournaments. We'd have the reach of the podcast to be able to kind of advertise it and build up and whatever. But the issue is that we would either have to play it in Wellington or Queenstown, most likely would be where it would happen. And the issue with both of those things is that it's very difficult for people to get to those kind of tournaments. And also, Wellington and Queenstown are already kind of not full of tournaments, but like all of the courses in those areas that would normally host a big tournament already host a big tournament, right? You've already got the Tucker Beach Rush and the Flight Park Open and the Queenstown Classic. You've already got Fault Line Fury and Middle Earth Open and the one in Trentham as well, which will be a thing. So what we're going to so what we thought we want to do is we still want to organize something big.
Really big.
Really big.
Really big.
We want to organize the largest disc golf event in New Zealand history. So
the largest sanctioned disc golf day.
That's right.
New Zealand.
So we want to organize a series of events around the country that bring together people to their local town or wherever they happen to be, and try and get as many people as we possibly can playing sanctioned disc golf on the same day, starting at the same time, playing the same number of holes as we can on the same day in New Zealand. Right now, the record for the most number of people who have played disc golf in one day is 250 something, which was at Nationals, I think, just gone. Well, we want to try and beat that, and we think we can. We've got a couple of locations already earmarked, and a couple of we've reached out to a few people and got some agreement in some places. But we want to organize the largest disc golf event in New Zealand disc golf history.
I love it. I love it.
And have people up and down the country, whether it's in Auckland, whether it's in Hawke's Bay, whether it's in Inglewood, whether it's in Taupo, in Wellington, in Nelson, in Blenheim, in Christchurch, in Invercargill, Dunedin, Waimate, Queenstown, Greymouth, anywhere, right? Anywhere where we can get an event, everybody coming together and playing in the same event. It will be the same event, but in just different locations, right? So each event will be its own event, but will fall under the umbrella of a larger thing. Now, you've done something similar to this in the past, right?
I have.
And
the Paul Macbeth Foundation fundraiser. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you wanted to say that or not, but that is what it was. What you were referring to.
It was, and that was held in 2022, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
2022. I organised the Wellington one, the Wellington
Yep.
leg of that event, and it was great fun.
Yeah,
Um,
we had 9 locations across the country that day running. Had a couple hundred people playing across the country. I think
yeah.
the sport has again obviously grown since then. I think we have more TDs
Hmm.
now that have the ability to be able to run these tournaments, and I genuinely think we could have 10 to 15 events across the country for this, Matt.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're one of these people that thinks you could run a tournament or even want to try it for the first time, this is a great
Yeah,
opportunity because
that's
it's
it.
going to be a 1 day event, most likely 2 rounds of 18 holes. If you've got a 9 hole course, you modify it to do 4 rounds of 9, or do you
Hmm.
do 2 laps?
Yeah,
Um, Reach out to us because obviously you guys all know us. We don't, you know us through the show. We do not know everyone across the country. Unfortunately, we'd like to say we think so. We think we do, but we don't. So please reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. As Matt said, it can be in any township across the country,
yeah.
somewhere like Greymouth, where there's such a smaller population, at least disc golf wise. If you had 10 people playing in a tournament, that's 10 people that are going to count towards this overall goal of having the
That's
largest
it.
event across the country and the largest amount of players we've ever had playing in the country. So let's all band
So
together
that's
and
right.
get this one done, Matt.
So if you want to be part of the largest disc golf event in New Zealand history, then get in touch. There's a few things that we've decided on. Okay, I think we've more or less settled on December the 13th
Yes.
as the date that we're going to go for. Okay.
Yep.
Now we've spoken to NZDG, we've spoken to tournament directors who might consider running tournaments on that day. I can think of one in particular who I spoke to earlier today, who confirmed that it's not going to clash with their event. And December the 13th is the day that we're looking at. Saturday, December the 13th.
Yep.
It will be a 1 day event. Okay. This is we're trying to hit grassroots here. It's going to be 2 rounds of 18. Okay. There'll be a lunch break in the middle, but whether you provide lunch or not will be at the tournament director's discretion. And if you're a new tournament director, you might be thinking, I'd like to give this a go, but actually, I've never done something like this before. Actually, an event like this is a great way to
Perfect.
introduce yourself to the tournament directing scene,
Yep.
because you're going to have a whole bunch of other people doing exactly the same thing as you,
Yep.
just in other parts of the country, who you can bounce ideas off, you can ask advice from, you can get help and support from, um, as well
Yeah, that'll
as the
that'll probably be
expertise
one of
that we have. I mean, well,
yeah,
largely you
I
have
was yeah, I was
in
going to say that's probably going to be almost my role within this, other than helping run the entire thing. Is I want to be there, be present for any tournament director that wants any help. I'm going to
yeah.
be trying to get someone else in my local area to run the tournament, whether it be Adam or one of the other guys from our community. I just want to be sort of in the background and helping everyone else do
Mhm.
their bit to make this all get across the line and make sure it all just runs smoothly. And I tell you what, it is at the end of the day, a 1 day tournament is so easy to run, guys. It's especially these cheaper ones. We want you to run these as cheap as you can,
That's it.
but it's totally up to you how you want to run them. It just has to come under those really basic specifications.
Hmm.
2 rounds of 18.
2 rounds
That's
of 18,
about it.
and we want to run it in different parts of the country, so it's easy to get to. It's easy for people who maybe don't play a whole heap of tournaments to be able to play. You don't need to go away or pay accommodation or travel far. It's going to be something that's going to be close to where you are, so hopefully maximizing the number of players who can play and bring everybody together. Now I'm hoping that we're going to hook up some contacts and perhaps even get some customized plastic along for this event as well, which will be exclusive to this event. We're looking at keeping the costs for the players as low as possible, but again, that'll be a TD discretion, and we'll try and work with tournament directors to try and keep the costs as consistent as we can across the
Yep.
country and as low as we can across the country. And we think that with an event like this, if we can bulk use some of the things like, for example, getting custom discs made, actually that can be done a whole lot cheaper if you order 12 tournaments worth than can be if you're just doing it for one event, right? So there are certain economies of scale that we can maybe tap into,
lean into. Yeah.
So if you're someone who might be interested in running an event like this, please get in touch. As I said, we've reached out to a few people already. There's a few more people who we need to speak to, and yeah, look out for more events, more event info, I should say, as the year goes on. But mark the day for your calendar now, December the 13th. Make sure that you leave it free for an event near you, near your hometown.